Salut tout le monde, hi everyone. Today I will reveal the literal meaning behind 10 French food words English speakers use all the time. So sit tight and bon appétit. First on the menu is baguette. Of course, you all know about the French iconic bread, but what does the word baguette actually mean? Well, actually, in French, baguette is either a small stick, a baton, or a wand, and we use it in many kinds of contexts. For example, des baguettes, chopsticks, une baguette magique, a magic wand, une baguette de direction, a conductor's baton. So you see there's way more than the iconic French bread behind this word. So next time you order a baguette, keep in mind that it's actually just a very delicious stick. So next on the menu is foie gras. This controversial French delicacy is an absolute classic during the holiday season in France, and you will find it on the menu of many fancy restaurants around the world. But what does it mean? Well, foie means liver, gras means fat, and it makes perfect sense. Why is that? Because to make foie gras, basically, we use the liver of a duck or a goose that has been fattened. Alright, so remember, next time you order foie gras, it might sound very poetic to you, but it's actually very literal. Our third course on the menu today is ratatouille. And before you ask, no, this has nothing to do with rat. Thank you, Walt Disney Pictures. No, yeah, really, thank you. Ratatouille actually comes from two old French verbs. The first verb is tatouiller, which means to handle or to mix things around. And the second verb is ratouiller, which means to stir up. So basically, for a very long time, ratatouille described a very messy, not so appetizing stew. Of course, by now it has become a classic of French cuisine, but it wasn't the case some time ago. But here's my question to you. Do you guys actually know what ingredients go into the ratatouille? I challenge you to write the recipe in the comments, and in French, of course. I hope you're still hungry because next is soufflé. This one is very straightforward. Soufflé comes from the verb souffler, which means to blow. So basically, the soufflé, the actual dish, means blown. And it makes perfect sense because a soufflé is going to rise during cooking thanks to the air which was incorporated to the mixture while preparing it. Alright, so next time you're in a restaurant and you order a soufflé, try to picture that. Imagine that little man inside of your soufflé who's like that just blowing to try to keep your soufflé nicely puffed up. No, don't imagine that. That's just very weird, and I doubt you'll still be hungry after that. No, don't do that. Alright, just remember, soufflé means to blow, hence the name. Right, I hope you kept some room because next we have some sautéed potatoes, or pommes de terre sautées as we say in French. This one is actually quite funny. It comes from the French verb sauter, which means to jump. And if you've already made some sautéed potatoes, you will perfectly understand why the name. Basically, when you have your sautéed potatoes, you need to toss them in the pan so they won't burn at the bottom of the pan. Okay, so literally, you're making your potatoes jump into the pan. Hence the name, sautéed potatoes, jumping potatoes. And honestly, if you've tried those, they're definitely worth the jump. Our next course is crème brûlée, another French classic. And if I'm being very honest with you, I find it slightly overrated, but to each their own. Anyway, crème brûlée, what does it mean? Obviously, I'm sure by now you understood that crème means cream in French, but what about the word brûlé? The word brûlé means burnt. And again, it's quite logical if you know how to prepare a crème brûlée. Basically, you have your cream and you're going to put some sugar on the top and you want to caramelize that sugar. So in order to do that, we're going to flame the sugar which is at the top of the cream, almost like burning it really. Hence the name, crème brûlée is basically burnt cream. Not so appetizing now, is it? Yeah, I thought so. Way overrated. Alright, let's move on to the next dish. Tarte tatin. Tarte tatin is a delicious apple tart which has a little twist. It's baked upside down. So first you put the apples at the bottom of a dish so they will get nicely caramelized, and then the pastry on the top. Once it's cooked, you flip it over. Yeah, you have to be pretty confident to do that, but anyway, you flip it over, and if everything went well, there you have it, a beautiful tarte tatin. The story behind this dish is actually quite interesting. Tatin was actually the name of two sisters. The Tatin sisters ran a little hotel in the French countryside, and legend has it that one day, accidentally, they baked their tart upside down. But still, they decided to serve it, and they were amazed to see how much customers loved it. And there was the beginning of the legend of the tarte tatin. So a very delicious mistake indeed, and that's kind of reassuring for all of us that mess up in the kitchen. Sometimes when things go wrong, they can turn out very good. Anyway, let's continue. Now, for the pièce de résistance is the filet mignon. This highly sought after cut of meat is generally beef in the US, and in France it generally refers to pork or veal. But what does the word filet mignon actually mean? Of course, you all know what the word filet means. It's just a fillet. Yeah, great. But what about the word mignon? Mignon actually means cute. Yeah, cute, that's right. So when you're ordering a filet mignon, what you're doing is ordering a cute fillet. And let's be honest, once in the plate, we wouldn't call it cute, really, would we? But technically, yes, this is all it is, just a cute fillet. Cute and delicious and gorgeous and... Sorry, I like meat a lot. Like, a lot. Yeah, and it's cute. Come on, guys. All right, let's continue. Are you still hungry? What about some nice chocolate éclair, or éclair au chocolat, as we say in France? This one is an absolute French classic again. You will find it in every French bakery. But what does the word mean? Éclair is actually quite intriguing even to us French. The word éclair means lightning. So why would you call a dessert lightning? That's not something I would do. Well, there's a story behind it. At least there's a rumor. Allegedly, the chef who created the éclair was surprised to see how fast it went once served. And it was like, yeah, people ate it as fast as lightning strikes. And here was the name. And to be honest, if you tried an éclair, that sounds about right. And finally, let's finish our feast with a nice chocolate mousse, or mousse au chocolat, as we say in France. So I'm sure you know about this beautifully light and yet delicious dessert. But what does the word mousse actually mean? Well, in fact, quite a few things. A mousse can either describe moss, like on a tree. It can be also an apprentice sailor. Yeah, I know, very random. It can also describe froth or foam, like on a cappuccino or on a beer. It can even refer to the foam you use to shave, as in the expression mousse à raser. So you see, it means quite a lot of random things. And I'm sure from today, your chocolate mousse won't taste quite the same. Alright folks, that's all for today. I'm afraid no time for coffee. It was great having you, but now it's time to go. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a like, subscribe, and I'll be more than happy to see you for the next one. À bientôt, au revoir.